Welcome back, guys. It's your team, LFG Team TV. Let's get it. Well, today we're going to talk about culture.
Let's go.
But before we start, I would like to introduce our special guest.
Yo, kia ora, thank you. So, hello everyone, my name is TJ. You can just call me TJ. I go by Creation Kit online, so you can find me on IG and YouTube and stuff. I make beats and that. But yeah, that's just a little thing about me.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's me, guys.
Very nice to have you.
Good to have you on here today,
man.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we didn't have our sisters here with us today.
Yeah.
But we got the bro. He's gonna carry us today. So
Let's go.
Let's get it.
But over the weekend we went to Papatoa night markets.
Let's go.
And we questioned the public around culture, and we asked a couple of questions.
Yeah.
One of them being, what do you love most about your culture? And if there was one thing you could take away, what would it be? So I think we'll try and bring that into our discussion today and see where we go. So I mean, we'll get a fair idea of our cultures that we have in the room. So
Yeah.
give it to our guest.
Easy. So, I am Afghasi, so I'm half Samoan and I'm half African American. So, as they say, black. That's half of me. Yes, I am black.
BBC.
So I can say the N-word. I can say the N-word, guys.
Got the N-word. Pass.
So,
Let's go. You already know the vibes. 676 in the building. Tongan, stallion.
Let's go.
Not just Tongan, born in Tonga. So let's make it official. You already know your boy.
Dogs.
Get it.
Let's talk about it.
Speak up.
All right. You know me. 676.
Wait.
Horse on the track.
Damn.
Nah, but I'm 685 as well, but
Hey.
I'm more
Extra?
768.
Half and half G. Halfway
Yo.
banger.
Nah, yeah, most of you know me. I'm half Italian, half Mexican.
Stop.
Como estás, carnal?
Stop. Full Samoan. Full Samoan. Talofa lava.
Falafalava.
Damn.
Yo, brother.
Yeah. Diversity in
Bro.
cultures here, bro. Damn.
Got a few Samoans in here, some Hati Tongans in the room, so
Let's do it.
I think we'll get a bit of both worlds, eh?
100%.
Yo. So what do we got? What do we love most about our culture?
Tell him, African American.
Bruh, I can tell you a lot of things when it comes to the African American community about what I don't like. But I'm pulling our shots now. But
Only you can say that. Only you can say
Only
that.
you can say that. When it comes to the culture, if anything, like the notoriety when it comes to African Americans
Yeah,
around,
baby.
like everywhere, like it's crazy, bro. Like when I talk to people about like me being half black and half Samoan, it's crazy because they're just like, oh wow, they look at me like I'm some kind of unicorn or something. Yeah, like I've never seen me
You know
before,
when they say
bro.
different breed, bro? That's this guy.
100%.
Bro, you're putting like the two, like beast mode.
Call me the
together,
Rock,
you know?
bro. I'm the Rock, bro.
The Rock.
I'm the people. Never mind. But like, in terms of that, it's buzzy. And when it comes to the Samoan culture, like it's super cool that there's an underlying understanding of respect and like different aspects, like
100%.
facets of our life, and it carries a long way. And hopefully, like my morals and beliefs are shaped in an amazing way, so I can, provide more for society with that culture that I have, like that I hold to me. Yeah.
Nice.
But that's what I love about it. Yeah, just those things.
Before we switch to the tongues, I'll just run off those sorts. So, like what he said,
He doesn't want to hear anything about tongues.
you know. So, I spent 2 years in Samoa, and three main things that I got from that culture was God, family, and respect. And those three things stood out to me, and that's what I love most about my culture. So, switch it off to the tongues and see how it goes. You know?
Beat that.
I'll be honest with you, bro. My favorite thing about being Tongan is when we aren't, arguing with each other and going at it with each other as Tongans.
Yeah.
When we are supporting each other, it's next level support. It's MMT.
Yeah.
That's
I
straight
can back that,
Otahu
100%.
peppering.
MMT.
The whole middle
Straight up.
flags
So-
everywhere.
Even the saying, hey, Andrew, MMT, mate matonga. You translate that for us, brother. What does that mean? Huh?
Die for Tonga, baby.
100%. That's it.
No.
Wait a minute. I thought
He's half Tongan.
he's half Tongan. But yeah, I dig that That's my favorite thing about Tongans is that when it's time to support, we pulling out all the stops.
Bro, you guys are probably the only island that supports the Chinese $2 shops the most.
Stop it
You see
out.
the flags on the
Stop
wall
it
now?
out. Stop.
We got it from there.
Nah, I swear I went to go get me those massive flags.
It's sold out.
Sold out.
Dang.
Sold out.
I had to go to like 3 Chinese stores and I couldn't get any.
Do you know
Nah,
what?
but you know what's cool is that they you can get them for free. You just
Gee,
walk
you know
down
what I
the
blame it
hill
on?
and they're all on the people's houses.
I think I blame it on their house and on their hunger.
Yo,
Like the whole house is like flagged
flagged out.
flags, yo.
It's flagged out.
It's like flagged out.
It speaks to the support, and I'll tell you a story. During the MMT time, we were looking for flags. We couldn't find any, but we wanted to support. Guess what? I did. So I went to Oahu and I told everybody in the car, we're gonna get a flag for this car, and I'll find a way. And then we went past this guy, and I had $20 on me, and I go, listen, anybody that's walking on the road, the first person I see, I'm giving them $20 for the flag. And at that time, like the flags were like not even $5. So I'm like, this is a bargain, $20 for the flag. And then I saw somebody and he looked half drunk, half tipsy, and I stopped him. Hey, Docs, I'll buy your flag off you $20 straight off the spot. He goes, yo. And I go, yo. And he goes, give me the money first. I go, you're Tongan. I already know what that means. And I go, listen, but he made me feel stink. He made me feel stink because he goes, give me the money first. In my head, I'm like, you're Tongan, you're a scammer. I'm a Tongan. I'm a Tongan. I can say it.
I thought you were going to support him.
Jack, he's Tongan. I'm Tongan. I know what we're up to. I go to him. He goes to me, give me the $20 first. And I go to him, give me I go, exchange it hand for hand. And he goes, you don't trust me, eh? And I go, yeah, I don't trust you. And then he goes like this, sweet. Have the flag. You didn't have to pay for it. And he just gave me the flag. And I go,
Wow.
you are those
You're
guys.
a dirty guy, dude.
So you're guilt tripping me, eh? Here, have the $20. He wouldn't take the $20. I threw out the car and I went off. He made me feel stink.
Nah, you made him feel stink.
Philip, stop it, Philip.
You made him feel
Stop it.
stink.
Whoever that guy was that gave me his flag,
Shout out to
that's
him.
MMT. That's
It was like this
MMT.
He's stuck on his bonus.
He probably like gave you the flag and pulled out another one anyway. Man's
Yeah,
probably had it
man.
on his waist.
He goes, oh, yo, sweet, here, have it. I looked at him and go, that's the most MMT thing I've ever seen. Had $40 in and I left.
Oh, 40 now.
High roller.
Bro, but yo, one thing that came off the interviews that we did in Pep is a lot of the answers that we got off like how much they love their culture was like face value stuff like food, dance,
food.
you know, the common stuff, but
Surface level.
you know, surface level stuff, bro. And I think it's good because, bro, when like the Palangis think of us, I think those are the first things.
That's
they
the first
think
thing they go.
fat islanders that can dance. and play rugby,
Stereotypical.
you know, but there's more to us, you know, there's way more than that.
Yo,
bro.
there's
What
way
about you,
more.
Andrew?
Huh?
What
Culture.
about you? Your favorite thing about being Tongan,
MMT.
man?
Bro, everything. Jay, everything. If you don't need a horse, then talk to me.
That girl. Shout out to that girl that eat horse, man.
Yo.
That girl, she's 12, and she goes, "I eat horse." I go, "Let's go, let's go."
You should have asked her to.
Wait a minute.
Hold up. Where's this culinary?
The girl was literally 12, and she goes, "I eat horse." I go, "Let's go, right?" That's MMT
Damn.
Yo.
culture.
But like, it's good though. Eh? Like, it
Sorry,
actually
I was
is
like,
nice, eh?
you eat horse. What part?
What part of the horse?
Like honestly, like people,
Sorry,
people
sorry.
actually think horses like yuck as like trash, but like when I actually give them some and trick them, they're like, oh,
Wait,
geez.
so you're
Sounds
telling
a tricky then.
So
eh?
you've been
Yeah,
tricking
like, oh,
people.
piece
into-
Let's be super.
Nah, it is
Wait,
nice, though.
have you tried horse?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have never tried horse. I would love to. I would love
Had
to.
horse.
Nice.
Yeah. Is that an invitation or no? You got some water?
Bro,
This
ain't
guy
gonna
didn't even have
ain't gonna
horse.
lie, horse cost heaps, bro.
Oh, fair enough. Damn, gotta get my bag up then.
What about you, Phil? Your favorite thing about Samoa?
Yeah. What I said, like
Same
I said
thing.
before, was those three values that we hold is God, family, and respect.
Respect. Do you know how I knew it was big? When you asked that big guy, and when he answered you, like, he didn't even have to, it was like automatic. You asked him, what's your favorite thing about being Samoan? And he was like this big, buff Samoan guy. He looked at you and he goes, respect. And I saw that Samoan connection between you. He's like, hey, you guys gonna kill us.
Bro, like, I think respect. I don't know. Like, I mean, in the islands, I really did see it, but here, I think we've lost that. Well, it's kind of been simmered through the society that we live in. Bro, like, I could in Samoa, you could go to any Samoan. Doesn't matter what village you're from. Drive past them, they beat. Walk. Malo. But here, bro, it's not the same. I mean, we have respect for each other, but it's you gotta have to know each other enough to have that respect.
Would you guys say, like, when we're talking about respect itself, do you think the definition amongst the Pacifica culture is different compared to the actual definition of what respect is?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like our definitions are different. Like there's the universal like definition in the dictionary, but I feel like it's definitely different. Maybe it's a language barrier.
What's
I
the
don't know.
universal definition
Of respect. Who's smart? Who's smart?
who's gonna pull out their phone first? I can do it if you want me to. Maybe I'm gonna have a look right now. No, but I think I was just asking more so in the sense of like because I know that being Pacifica, that respect is a real integral part of the culture itself, like, because it's not necessarily just about going, respect, like, make sure that you don't talk to people another way and stuff, or hold yourself in a way which is appealing to I don't know, like, I'll look at the definition right now, but I think just the significance of it. What do you think is
so when you say respect, do you mean like, I don't know my Samoan, but like, does Fa'a Samoa, when you say, that's Fa'a Samoa, like, does that mean like
another
that's
level
respect?
of respect? Or is that
That's respect. That's like us when we say that's whakaapa. Like that level. That's what it means. I get it.
What's that?
Whakaapa means respect. For example, let's say an elder speaking and you interrupt them. And whakaapa is like, oi, have respect. Whakaapa. That's what it means.
And I got the definition right here. So the definition of respect in the Western dictionary is a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. So that's so admiration for that. But then in our culture, you could say that it's just making sure that you do right by your family is respect. Like, you know what I mean? Like you, and so with those different, I don't know, you could say they're cultural differences. Like
there
culture.
is. In Samoa, you would respect others differently compared to how you would respect someone depending on their status. There's respect for elders, and then there's a different type of respect for priests or chiefs. And those things are, I think the Western world wouldn't understand it because of the different. I don't know how you can explain it fully, but
I feel like in the Western world, like, that's like how you said, that's a Western definition. In a sense, respect is respecting like achievement, accolades. For example, you being a father or just being an elder in general, you already garner respect. But like maybe the Western world is different in a way is, I gotta have my doctorate degree before I get any level of like from people. You know what I mean? And maybe that's how, I wouldn't speak for the Western world because
do you feel like how respect like that? Do you feel like because in our culture, we to me, like, we have a lot of like gang affiliated stuff. And do you feel like respect in that way is like, how he said you got to be a doctor, but say if like I met you at a party and you have to gain my respect.
No way.
Can I say something to that?
I mean?
Definitely. Now, what I think is buzzy about that is, like obviously like you said the dissonance between
Yeah,
being
yeah,
a thug
yeah.
and
Yeah,
then being
yeah,
like
yeah.
someone who's
Yeah.
academically inclined. Like how I look at it as if we were to go back into cultural norms, it's
Yeah.
funny because how our society lived compared to the Western world is different, bro.
Yeah.
And in the Western world, like your status is viewed by how much you can maintain and accumulate, so money. Whereas when it comes to the Polynesian, even with Samoan specific, bro, we're giving, and the more you give is your status, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
totally
Yo,
two different.
100%
And then so
is.
when we talk about the thugs, and then when we talk about like academically inclined, at the same time, there's another level of respect because you gave time, you gave something, and
yeah.
that's why
Yo.
people we respect that. I don't think we respect what you did or what you may be doing, but we respect the time that you had given, what you had to sacrifice, because that's where respect comes from. Oh, I feel.
Do you think our definition of respect in that sense is right?
Oh, I mean, well, put it this way, bro. If we were able to make like freaking boats out of sticks and stones and travel the whole globe like in the
Talent
waters, do you
dogs.
reckon? And we're like, bro, we're one of the first innovators, man. Do you really think that societal norm that we thrived in, we literally did thrive in? Do you think that's wrong compared to what we're doing now? Like, because we're talking about how even what you said, coming back from SAR, coming into New Zealand, that's just not the same. And it's like, it's sad because that level you feel like personally, like, man, I want a lot more of that. I want all of us to be on that. But the Western society is, we can't deny that it's very getting integrated in all societal norms and all culture. And it stink though. Like me personally, like, bro, it's funny enough, we aren't all made equal and we have to just accept that. But at the same time, man, like I could dream, you know? Like, come on, bro.
That's good,
Come
baby.
on,
That's
man. But that's what I think about it anyways, But what were you going to say about it, especially when it came to that? Because, bro, come on.
Thugs.
We know what that feels like. I'm from outside G, 274
Wait,
hard.
finish off what you were
I
gonna
get
say.
it.
Finish off what you were gonna say.
Yeah.
I've been to parties and like you see two guys, they're not like getting well, like they hate each other or some shit or whatever, and then you see them, they like they actually go to have a scrap on the street, come back, and then both of them are shaking hands and
Best
hugging it out and
friends.
saying respect.
Bro.
Yeah.
Do you see it? Do you get what I mean? Like,
I feel like that's a universally like Polynesian thing when it comes to strength and the ability to hold yourself. There's a lot of respect to be gained there. For example, like how you said, when there's two Polynesians, specifically Polynesians, and then they're going at it, but the fact, even if we might be enemies, but the fact that you can stand in your way, that's enough to garner respect from the other person. That's enough for
so
me.
you're saying that's universal?
Polynesian.
no, wait.
It can be universal.
Yeah.
But do you look at it as a cultural?
No,
Like,
that's what I was about to ask.
Because like if you look at it cultural, like back in history, if you look at it, like for me, I have respect because like that story about Tonga running south for how long, and then what's that story about those the two guys?
Tui,
or something?
what's their name? I forgot their names.
And
The brothers.
They kicked
Tuna
us out.
Mafata.
Yeah, like that's what I call respect.
Yeah, that's respect.
Like they stand, like
They stood their
that's why I
ground.
look
Yeah,
at it.
they
As,
stood
do,
it.
you, do you look at it as a culture as well? Because
Yeah.
our people were fighting as well, and like our culture, like we fought for what was right. Like, do you get what I mean? Like,
because
I was just gonna say, in my head, how I'm processing it is like maybe we categorize that differently. Like, because you could say gang culture, but then even that could be broad. What if it's Pacifica gang culture?
Yeah.
And then actual, because bro, if I'm talking like my dad, he's not necessarily on the straight and narrow when he was like he's still over there. Like, he's still over there. Doing God knows what. Doing God, I don't know, man. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't want no cases with my name on it. But like like the different norms and how they run. The groups that they run, because they're just categories. When we talk about culture and reality, it's just the category in which they use to describe people. Like, just so it'll be like, these are some tendencies they do. Hence why we even have stereotypes that are wrong. Like but
The stereotypes.
it's just easier ways to explain to someone who has no understanding. Like, this is alien to me. What that group of people do.
100%. And I feel like as islanders, we can all attest to this. We all grew up in that respect. Within our peers, where it's like, show me your strength, bro. I'm not gonna respect you, G. And it didn't matter what you look like, as long as you had heart. When they say things like, "Oh man, that guy's got heart." For example, like it could be a country like Russia, and you know the size of Russia. But if they see Samoa, if they see someone like the size of Samoa, Tonga saying like, "We're gonna take arms, we want to come to you," Russia will look at me like, respect. I know I could annihilate you with one bomb. But
One gun. One
respect. And I felt like
all of Tonga.
pain.
but I feel like as islanders, we've all grew up in that. And I feel like that's what made us strong as a culture. It's because we all not even with as brothers, but in our house. We had to our dad has to see us like some sort of strength, like, hey, dogs, man up.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, but that part, sorry to interrupt, but that's interesting because then what argument would you have with a single parent household that doesn't have that? Can you still enforce cultural norms on someone? Like, let's just say if it was a female, like your mother and then your kids, or your father and no mother and daughters, maybe.
That's hairy. That's complicated. That's 100% complicated.
Not everything's black and white, I guess. Hey, great. But sorry, that was a random tangent.
No,
Culture.
I get it.
Yeah.
Culture.
But I guess, yeah, like how you said about gang culture and that. I didn't fully agree with everything in gang culture, like stuff like that. I didn't fully agree with everything, but the things I do agree with is the camaraderie, the people that go to gangs to look for brothers. I agree with that. Sometimes they didn't get it from their house. Sometimes they don't get it from the people they're supposed to, their blood in that. And they run to these gangs because these gangs embrace them with open arms and say, listen, Toko, listen, Uso, I love you, bro. I got you. Even if they're rioting and doing the wrong things, but that sense of brotherhood, like people in our culture would do anything for that type of love.
Loyalty.
It's buzzy that you say that because I feel like a lot of the brothers go there because of the cultural values that those gangs hold.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
For example, the brotherhood, protecting one another, you know. For the thing, I just want to go back real quick just to what you were saying about how in the Western world, people respect you depending on what you accumulate, like, for example, money. Whereas for what stood out to me in respect in Samoa wasn't the status of what someone had, but the levels changed depending on the service you gave. We have this thing called a kaule'elea, and I respected which kaule'elea is. He's the errand boy. He's the kid that does all the chores for the chief, the mom. He cooks, you know, he goes out and does everything, and I respected him the most. And I feel like it can get mixed up at times where we respect certain people for the status, but it should be not because honestly, like the status holds a lot of corruption at times, and sometimes when we respect that person
100%.
just because it can get it can be pretty bad. So I feel like when we respect those who serve, because that's one of our strong values as Samoans in our cultures, the people that serve, the people that do, you know, build our families and like single mothers and whatnot.
Cool, man.
No, and
Shout out to the single mothers, single parents,
always.
man.
yeah, man.
Single parents. Shout out.
100,000%.
Because listen, hey, guys, this is another. He's another part of the crew. We're the fatherless crew because all of our dads.
Whoa, we're gonna start crying. So mental health. Back to the first podcast. Mental
So what,
health.
is that a cultural norm?
Gee, I was like, bro, I'm someone in black, still no father.
This is the fatherless crew.
Father, bro. I'll father myself. Nah, but
Change the
love you,
name.
mom. Love you, mom.
100%.
Yeah, but nah, we were talking about this earlier too when you were saying being able to respect, and a cultural norm for us is respect through service. Like I think it's heavily indented within our identity that we are servers. So it might and hence why that might even bleed into other cultural norms or societal norms of today, like tall poppy syndrome, being told to be humble, don't stand out, like all of those things is like, because being servers ourselves, we're like, if you were to do that, you're not necessarily, but
I take honestly, I'll take the opposite approach and I say, stand out.
Yeah.
Stand out.
Bird.
Because I don't want to go on a tangent. I don't want to go on a tangent.
No, it's not a tangent.
Because
it's related, eh?
Because that's definitely
it's culture.
something
It's
about
culture.
our culture.
Yeah.
It's common.
And I'll tell you something about a culture, and I've been taught this too, and this is something that I had to not snap out of. I feel like it is a trait to have in your back pocket, but it's not something to live by. You know what I mean? And it's that don't say anything. oh, be well mannered, behave yourself, and you. I felt growing up in a Polynesian household was like, don't be yourself.
Yo.
That's how I felt, man. And do you know what's crazy? Because when I did grow older, and I came to this point, because I feel like every islander goes to the point where they're like, I am going to do something stupid if I do not be myself soon. Something stupid's going to happen. I'm either going to hurt somebody or I'm going to hurt myself if I don't, express who I actually am and not the cultural norm of like trying to play this character of like and that's when I broke away from that mindset, and people, and I feel like people get upset with that.
Yeah.
Honestly, people get upset because they look at you, you reckon you're all that, eh?
Yeah.
What do you mean? No, you reckon you think you're all that, eh?
Aren't you Tongan?
Yeah, aren't you Tongan? And then I'm just like, listen, I'm happy. Why are you happy? Because I'm being myself.
Yeah.
This is me.
Nah, do you know what's sad about that is there was like, I think people get too obsessed with the aspects of your identity because culture is just one aspect. Your personality, your life experiences, pretty much everything that encompasses you. Not saying culture is not a significant part, most definitely is. It shapes who you will most likely be, and you probably gravitate to those things the more older you get because they're more recognizable and but at the same time it's also just going, no, that's just one aspect. Like you can be Samoan, but you can also be a basketball player, you can be a president, you can be a prime minister, you can being Samoan, being Polynesian, being any culture, being of minority descent, that shouldn't stop you from striving.
100%. Because one of the answers that one of the boys gave in our interviews, he said, give us kids a chance.
Yeah.
Is that what he said? Yeah, he's like, give us a chance. And I think, bro, what he said is definitely what our younger generation are struggling with. Because like you said yourself, you grew up feeling like you couldn't be yourself. Because now when our youth are trying to change, and I mean, the world's changing, bro.
100%.
Like our culture, obviously we have a beautiful culture, but what I believe is that culture evolves. And it needs to move with the world.
Always.
And one thing that's happening here in for us that are living in the Western world is that we're trying to apply the culture that dominates Samoa and bring it into this society. That it's really hard.
Really hard.
Because now these kids have a lot of things that they're dealing with, mentally, physically, whatever, and at the same time trying to be that cultural, hold that cultural standard. And it's hard.
So much pressure.
Yeah,
that's why. Yeah, man. And that's because I know you have the most to say about this. Because when I first met you, that's why we clicked off the bat. Because like I said, you were doing things on TikTok, doing things on Instagram, putting yourself out there.
Bro, I'll be honest, those because growing up in a Samoan family, the common norm for the boys, go play rugby,
classic,
the tough guy stuff.
Yeah.
For me, I loved rugby, but when I was playing, I actually hated it. I wasn't any good, but I just played because I'm Samoan. I'm the token Samoan boy in my family. So, but the love that I had was social media.
Yeah.
And it was so hard for me to jump on it straight away because I always thought about what my cousins and my family would think.
Yeah.
Oh, why is he thinks he's funny, bro. He's dry.
Wow,
because I was always like, oh, nah, I'm not that funny. I'm not that guy. But when I did start posting, I really did start to find myself. And I was like, yo, I love this.
Tell the truth. Did strangers show you love when you started making posts?
100%.
100%.
No, but when you think about it too, their opinion matters when you're in that position because we're family orientated.
Exactly.
It's like these so we can't deny that, but at the same time it's also accepting the fact that, man, this might hold me back. I might need to have to step out of that boundary because man, come on, bro, regardless, I love my brother, I love my family, but man, they can freaking hurt my head sometimes when I'm around family all the time, G. That's why they say 100%. With your friends, man, that's the family you choose. But nah, suffice
and it's fuzzy
to say.
because all the people I kick it with, you, the thing, are all very expressive people, very expressive, and not like our typical island boys. You know what I mean? And I got love for all of my island.
Yeah.
I got love for all of my island boys because I got staunch cousins. I got cousins that
Don't
are
we
like
all?
that.
Don't
but
we
like,
all?
but yeah, all of us, but
Yeah.
genuinely like that. Not
Yeah.
because they're like trying to hold themselves back. They're genuinely staunch dudes, and I love all my all my Islander brothers. But if you ain't like that,
It's sad seeing that, G.
Yeah.
Because I know family members or I know friends that have that. I can just see it. They act that way.
Yeah.
Just to feel like separate. And I'm just like, bro, you don't have to.
You don't have to
You
be like-
don't. You really don't, man.
Ah, man.
because there are the people that are genuinely like that, and then there's the people that you see are like, nah, that ain't you. It's okay not to be that.
Yeah.
Your brother's probably like that, your cousin's probably like that. It's okay not to be like that. So when I do surround myself with like people like you, like this, you know, we go out to do our videos, you chuck on your tiger. You chuck- I won't ever turn to Andrew and say, why are you wearing that?
Yeah.
You won't ever hear that from my mouth because I know it makes you happy. And what makes you happy makes me happy, bro. 100%.
Just get my heart
I like that.
Did
G.
you say
That's
that?
facts, bro.
I'm lying. I give him crap all the time.
But wait. Like, speaking of this as well, perfect segue. Like, something that I forgot to say that I love about the culture that we have being Pacifica is our humor, bro.
Yo.
What funny people, man. We don't express it enough.
Like,
but
not funny, haha.
No,
Yeah.
like,
But funny.
funny, like, you can't breathe after. Yeah, bro. Come on, nah, yeah.
And the thing about
Shout out
it
to the
is,
dolphin in the room.
and the thing about it is at the most inappropriate times. But I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. I feel, and this has always been my view on it. And I feel like the most inappropriate times is the best times. It's because that's when you need it.
Bro.
Like I'll be honest.
Well,
I'm
so
not
make a
gonna
joke
say.
at a funeral.
I'm not.
Do you know
Yes.
why we're joking?
I'll tell you.
Bro, our jokes covered the pain, bro.
100.
Yeah, facts. That's our mental health aid.
I'll
That's
tell
our
you
mental
this,
health
That
aid.
was the way we. That was the way we
dealt, bro.
reacted.
How would you
dealt
say
with
it?
our-
Yeah, that was our medicine. That was
Yo.
what got us through it. And I feel like even when you said funerals, especially funerals,
Yo.
I'm not gonna say any funerals
100%.
because somebody's gonna be like, "Wait, my funeral? What are you talking about? My family funeral?" Listen, funerals too, but not like. Oh yeah, like that.
It's like funerals, top of the list. What jokes? You trying to be a comedian in the Samoa community? Yo, just start doing funerals.
because listen, because I feel like at those times, I'll tell you the truth. We need it the most.
yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
We need it the most.
As they say, that's one of our love languages.
Yeah.
It is.
Making jokes, no. But we are tricksters, man. We are tricksters, and I laugh. I can tell because like you can go find any TikTok or whatever. Anytime they teach anything within our native tongue, I guarantee you it's not gonna be something that yo, I said Gifford was love. Yo, I said Gifford, let's go, like, bro. Come on, bro. Like Jesus Christ, I love it, bro.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, man.
We are culture, culture, identity.
Oh
That's
yeah,
deep,
and the
bro.
question that we did in the other question was, and what's something you would change about your culture? Let's go. Let's go, TJ.
Damn me.
Bit of a touch that we did just on that was what we were saying, how for our youth to stand out.
Yeah. Stand out, man.
Don't try and stick to the stereotype of what it is to be a Tongan, what it is to be a Samoan. You know, there's no certain way you have to be a Tongan or a Samoan. Whoever you are, like however you want to live, that's you, and that is a Tongan, that is a Samoan.
And to add to that, I feel like there is a lot of talent that isn't shown, especially because, man, where we come from, we know all the talented people.
Yeah, come on, bro.
But in our society, where it's like you're not allowed to stand out, docs. You're a mean singer, keep it to yourself.
That's annoying.
You're a mean dancer, keep it to yourself.
Average.
You're a mean
Stand.
thing,
Mid.
keep it to yourself.
Mid.
But I feel like that's what have at the same time how destructive it is. I feel like it's what has made us the best because it's like, man, I have to with people around us telling us, even though we're mean as telling us, you have to be so mean to the point they'd be like, okay, fine, he's mean.
Yeah.
Fine. So what would you say?
Fine,
What
you're
would you
mean.
say? Do we keep that then, or do we take it away?
I feel like I still feel like we need to take it away. I still feel like we need that freedom. I mean, it does make us mean because we're like, oh,
Nah, because I think we'll keep the jokes, right?
yeah, oh yeah,
Because
yeah,
that's
yeah.
enough
Yeah,
to
yeah,
push
that
someone
is-
to the
that
edge.
is very- yeah.
I think that's enough. Like you always see the fat auntie calling the fat shaming the fat guy, and she's like 250
she's
kgs.
teasing
You know, like,
Damn.
oh my
Auntie,
gosh, you're so fat. Like, and she can't even breathe, bro. Bro's got sleep
Yeah, bro,
apnea,
5
man.
minutes for that
You
joke.
know, like,
5 minutes just to
shut
say that
up.
joke.
Wait,
Bro, and I always got that. Now look at me, I'm really fat.
wait, the ultimate. How long have you had gout for? Wait, cut it out.
Nah, because that's when
Edit
you
it
see
out.
like
Edit it out.
when they'll mock you about being fat, and they get to stand up, and their legs are black.
Oh, we got
You're aiming at this somebody. Say his name. Say his name.
shots everywhere. Shots everywhere.
Everybody's getting it.
That one right there was a violation.
Auntie, you know I'm talking to you. Like,
Shout out to all the
Yeah, so
tacos.
we'll take away that, but then we'll keep the jokes just
Yeah.
to push it. You know, like you need a little bit of bullying. I mean, joking here and
yes,
there. You know,
yes,
Yeah.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yo,
Builds character. Builds
Yeah,
character.
man.
Bullying builds character.
some can, most can't. You know, so
Shout out to the boys that
No.
got gout. Shout out to the boys that got gout. I still got love for y'all, man.
Have you ever got?
Gout.
Yeah.
does he look like he has gout?
I want to take gout out of culture.
Bro, let's take gout out, bro. That can go, dude.
Gout,
I
diabetes,
asked that question. though.
diabetes out, bro.
I asked that
Like,
question, and the biggest also there was like, "I'll take out the food."
Well, he's honest.
And I was like, "The food, sure, you." And then he was like, "Yo, because we're getting too fat." And I was like, "Is that the food's fault?"
Guys, this is coming from the guys whose
Hey,
first
hey,
episode.
hey.
This is coming from the guys whose first episode was mental health. But anyway, let's carry on.
Hey.
Let's carry
It's a love language, you know. When
Physical
we tell
health
each other
too.
we
Physical
love
health.
you, man.
We love you.
Yeah, we
Listen,
love everybody,
we
bro.
love
Come
you
on, man.
guys, regardless.
Yeah, we're not
This
malicious, man.
Yes, it is. It doesn't have that intent. It's always been. I feel like as polys, it's always been out of like muck around, muck around.
I mean,
Some,
bro,
some gay too far, man. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the biggest muck around right here.
bro. No, but that's
Why are you
us,
wearing
man.
glasses?
It was like, yo, next question. Next question.
And okay, that question that we forgot about that. What would you change with?
Yeah, well, just
What would change?
I don't know if this this is a thing in our culture, but I don't know if you had it in your Tongan culture during your time growing up. But for me, in my culture, it's like you had to be. How do I say it? When you guys said stand out,
Yeah.
to me it was more like, if there's like a birthday, your birthday. If you're doing a birthday, their birthday has to be better than someone else's.
Oh, competition. Yeah.
pride,
Hey,
egos.
yeah.
Yo,
Status.
Is
Prideful.
it for you guys as well?
100.
I mean,
Ah.
me personally,
Yeah.
but mind you, I'm like a very weird type of islander, so I wouldn't put myself in that category.
Is it like that in
Yeah.
like?
An African American
yeah.
culture, bro? Yeah, like
I mean,
they
I
own
want to
everything, bro.
like we don't like how to compete up and like how cool the
Nah,
birthday
yeah.
was, but
Yeah.
when it comes to gifting, like,
Why
you know
not?
how we're
Yeah,
giving.
gifting.
That's
yes.
the Samoan.
Giving,
Yeah,
right?
That's the
gifting,
Samoan.
bro.
That's Samoans do
Gifting.
that.
Yeah.
It's like the Phil. He donated.
Yeah.
So
20
when you
grand.
go
Yeah.
to someone wedding and
Yeah.
you hear the guy stand up, the
Facts.
chief stand up, and he's like saying a speech, and then another guy stands up, another guy stands
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Bro,
That's
they're
all
going
that.
back and
Yeah.
forth on that
See,
stuff, bro.
Tongans don't
we-
do that.
But no, we do
fala.
actually.
We do fala. with
Yeah,
the money.
we do
Oh, with the
actually.
churches. Oh, the
With
specific
church.
And the
churches.
church, yeah, it's the same in church, bro.
we call it Misnali.
Dogs.
But it's like a certain night, because you know how there's like you go to a Christian church or like a Palangi church and there's tithes and offering, and they give their like bag and then you chuck in like $20 or like 20 cents, like me.
You should have just kept. You should have kept.
You should have got a bubblegum after, bro. You should have just kept it.
Bubblegum wrapper.
20 cents and take out the $20.
I need gas. I need
the other
gas
way.
tonight.
No, but like,
Yeah.
like, so you know how it's like tithes and offering. That's what that night's for, tithes and offering.
Yeah.
And like,
I think that one's called a Famaki or something.
It's sad because like, you see family, they like when they go to like give the money for the church, like the I don't know, the pastor or whoever,
Yeah.
they call it out,
Yeah.
So they
It's
say
church- it's
they
church
say
specific.
Yeah,
they say,
church-
churches that
they
do
say-
it.
say,
What's your religion? What's your religion?
oh no, I'm Christian.
Wait, what
Christian.
religion is that?
Presbyterian.
Is that Presbyterian?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Presbyterian.
Presbyterian. That's not Presbyterian.
Religion.
That they like.
He's trying to make it a tongue. That's your church.
Yeah, but he's not lying. But then again, if you get to what church does it there in Tonga?
This one was
say it was-
Just say it,
at
man.
Mangry.
Yeah, so
Wait.
but
Which
that's
church?
that.
275.
Everybody says don't blow his commentary.
Like, let's say if it was because in Samoa it's like, I mean, you can go to like a Christian church, they'll do it.
Yeah.
You can go to like a Methodist
Anywhere,
church, they'll do it. But I'm saying is like, because I think it is kind of cultural, because I don't think they do that in the European churches. And
Nah,
I don't think you go there and John gave $100.
No.
Yo.
Kate gave 20 cents. Like, nah, I don't think I've ever.
See, that's the thing. I want to change because when you're going like when they're like giving like money, like they're offering like
Bro, they give everything. They
Some
give
families, bro.
everything.
Some
Their
families
house,
like they're already
everything,
struggling. Eh? They're already struggling, and then the reason they give heaps like 1,500, or if another family will give 1,000.
Yeah.
The reason they give heaps is because they don't want to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Per 100%.
Status. Man.
But if that was me, gee, like
Because if you go
straight
Samoa,
$10.
if you go Samoa, straight up,
A lot of gang.
see for Christ.
See for Christ.
See for
That's
Christ.
why I went
Bees
to
for blood of Christ.
Yo,
So C for Christ, B for blood. Just,
that-
just
bro,
for the
'cause-
record, guys. Just for the record, yeah.
just for the record,
Just
yo,
for the record.
just because in Samoa, you drive through the villages, you see all these huts, bro, and then you get to the chapel, old ass chapel, and then the house next to it's a mansion with
wow.
like 2 Range Rovers.
Oh.
Well, not a Range Rover, but I mean, you know, your Hilux.
Yeah.
And that's the priest's house.
Oh.
So tithing is meant to be, you know,
Yeah.
to build the church, but
Nah,
we use it in the wrong way.
I'll tell you this. This is because your moment, and this
Yeah.
is this is something that I dig about Mormon culture.
LDS,
a Mormon,
LDS.
shout out to the Mormons.
Let's go. Latter Day Saints. Church of Jesus Christ. Latter Day Saints. Let's go.
And I think the Mormons how they deal with finance is because they don't do that.
Nah,
and
nah,
I
we
learned
don't.
that, and I learned, and when I found that out, I was like, "That's solid," because I've been to churches where like there's a function every day of the week. We got somebody's birthday here, we got somebody's chipping today, chipping tomorrow. I'm not gonna say any names. I'm not gonna say any religions. But come on,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
Yo.
I can afford like 3.
Yo.
I
5
think,
of it.
I think the Mormon faith, because like you guys even had like what's that thing for Halloween? The Halloween in the boot or something.
Oh,
And
yeah.
every car,
Do you guys celebrate Halloween?
Bro, it's buzzing, dude.
And in the car park, but I mean,
But yeah,
off
like-
topic,
Anyway,
like,
off topic, yeah.
like with that, like with the
Giving.
tithing that we
Giving,
receive, you can see it. It goes into the churches because our buildings are, you know,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
The temples are up because the tithing is actually going to where it should go.
Yeah.
And tithing is given off your pure heart. You don't have to give it.
And I think the moment, even with the like the pastors and that, man, they got it like that.
The congregation is mean
They
and the
got it.
And they work. They're
Yeah,
volunteering.
yeah.
It's not like
No.
Because I heard that the priests of Mormon churches, they don't depend on people's income.
yeah.
They got
have
it.
to work.
They
Yes.
earned
Yeah.
it. That's
So
their
shout out to the
money.
bishops.
Bruh, trust.
Shout out to those
I know
guys.
that, bro.
But shout out to the
Firsthand.
pastors that
I've
ask
seen
for
that.
money as well. They love to them as well. But what do you feel?
Yo, but
Like,
like, yeah.
appreciate that.
So if there was one thing we could change, I think that could be one thing we
Yeah.
could take out.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, I
pride
mean,
status.
You
For gifting.
I didn't. I honestly like. I muck around about those things, about the churches and stuff. But I don't mind it because I feel like as islanders, we've always been community based. Meaning that's the reason why I spoke to my cousin that came from Tonga, and he said, "You can live in Tonga without money."
Yeah.
Because you can live off the land, or everybody's willing to help. It's community based, and I guess it just translated into the, church culture where they're like, help us build this church. We're getting a bigger church. Everybody chip in, and that's why I didn't mind it. Some people are like, man, I didn't dig it, but I'm personally, I'm okay with it.
Take away the competition and take away the reading out of your offerings.
Yeah.
That's what we should.
Yeah, man.
Not we should stop doing.
It's almost they're almost doing it on purpose
They
to
do.
make
they
you
come
get
up,
more
yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a tactic.
benefit them.
Shame
yeah.
you. Shame on you.
Yo.
That's
$10.
sad. Like,
Guy.
like that's sad. Like, imagine like.
Bro, they're like, are you broke?
Prove it.
That's what I feel like. Hey, prove it right now.
How much do you
Put your bank account right now.
How much do you love the Lord? See it.
How much is your mortgage?
$10 worth. Oh.
See, when you gotta monetize your love for the Lord,
Oh,
something
bro. Exactly.
wrong
Yeah.
is going
Yeah.
on.
But saddest thing is that they really believe
Yeah.
that the blessings are coming.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the priest is sitting there in his pool.
I'm blessed.
Go.
I'm blessed, boys. We up.
A pool full of holy water.
Thank you, church, for the new pool.
Shot for the knee highlight.
Shouts out. Bro.
Because even on Sundays, bro, every family's like making up a plate to go drop off to the priest's house. So the bros probably got like fridges on fridges of food on Sunday.
Like 3
He
fridges,
just got paid on
Hey.
Sunday. It's payday, and then he gets fed like a king.
No
bro.
groceries. Doesn't have to buy groceries.
Priest is
Bro.
up. He's up.
He's got 3 days left.
Priest is doing the job.
He's already
Listen,
surviving for 3 days.
listen. If you want money, boy, go to preschool.
Learn the Bible, bro.
Read
Basic
your
instructions
Bible,
before
pray
the
every
earth,
day.
bro.
Straight up.
Read your
Faith.
Bible.
No,
Pray
but
It's
every
the
day.
highest paying job in Zambia.
Oh my God.
No.
Everybody's coming for you, Philip. Not me.
I'm telling.
No.
Shut up.
Dude, but it's crazy, like hearing, like thinking that how religion is heavily indented in our culture, though.
Yeah.
I mean, because like there's other cultures, like if we were talking about New Zealand, Aotearoa, here, you know how like the Māori still know their deities and their gods that they have. It's crazy that we don't, like, you know, like because it's the integration of that with the values that we had at the time. But it's buzzy because I got a mate, his name is Jesse Gibson. Shout out to Coco Shakim,
And shout
amazing
out to
editor,
Coco, man.
historian, bro,
Frick.
straight up. But that guy educated me on some stuff too, and he was just saying, yeah, we got to remember back in the days we used to build pyramids on some Aztec level type stuff.
Straight
Like
up.
people who built pyramids, we
Foundations
had
are still
that,
there, bro.
yeah, like, and it's crazy to think that, and then how religion integrated so heavily and so easily with our understanding of culture. It's really
Man.
buzzy. Yeah, sorry, just bringing it back to culture with religion,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
man.
100%.
It is, man.
Bro, if you're Samoan, you don't know God, bro. You're not Samoan.
Yo.
You're alien,
Have
bro.
you ever met a Samoan atheist?
Nah,
Hi, I'm Samoan.
oh,
Probably
you're the devil.
The priest is the only alien who believes in money.
This guy's gonna be joking at that guy's funeral, at the priest's funeral, bro.
The priest believes in. Nah, listen, I love all the priests in the world.
Gee, we're getting cancelled, bro. Damn. All the Christians in the comments.
I just
bro.
brought up
I just turned
All
off
the
from Hamilton,
Presbyterians are
bro.
coming. How dare you?
How dare you?
Philip, what do you call
You
it?
Samoan.
Get the
Sorry,
4-4 ready. Yo,
Pastor Bossy. So
get the 4-4 ready after this, man. Get the 4-4 ready, man. They coming.
Gee.
They coming, bro.
Nah, it's all love, bro. It's all love.
It's all love, 100%.
man.
It's all love.
Nah, it's funny we have to keep saying that, knowing the society we live in now. Because it's like, bro, I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
It's a joke, man.
It's just a joke, man.
It's just a joke. It's just jokes.
I knew there's gonna be a problem with having an all boys
Presbyterians not
panel.
like that, man.
It's just a joke.
They're not like that.
They're not like that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, actual Presbyterians are not like that. You know when
Nah,
we do
yeah,
titles
it's
off-
only jokes. It's only a joke.
He's getting offended on your guy's behalf.
They don't actually pull up.
Well, that's actually funny though. We have actually little bags or like envelopes where it's like we want the money to go to, like to the church, to the youth, or the kids' church.
Oh, so you guys have different
Yeah, we actually have things
sections.
like we
Listen,
actually have things like we even
what they got.
like even food as well. We put in our tithes and offering.
Because our one,
Like a basket.
you can cook
Yeah,
in charity.
Damn.
You know,
Yeah, like COVID-19.
So,
Or
but
Taxes.
is there a box that you can tick that says priest?
My pasta stream. Bro, you mixed that.
I want all my money to go to the priestly pool. Okay, not the food,
I
not
invest in
charity.
him. I
The
invest in
priest.
him.
talking about money, that's
Yeah.
another issue we face in our culture.
Nah, G, bro. That's like, I guarantee it's not a coincidence, bro. Like, come on, man.
Bro, I reckon one thing with you guys, someone's with money.
Don't do it.
Say it's you racist bastard.
It's that.
Be careful
Son.
what you say next.
Son, you need to give me money to send to the islands.
Oh, that's such a.
Oh, true.
How could you
I
say
mean,
that?
I've seen that.
Yeah,
True.
yeah, yeah.
I'm very unorthodox with my culture, but I
Is that
definitely
true?
seen that.
Oh, is that a
I've
Tongan
seen it.
thing? To an extent.
send money?
Not, yeah, I haven't
But
seen
do
it.
you ever have cousins hitting you up like, "Hi, cuz, how are you?" And then, "I'm good, thanks." And then, "Can I
Can I
have
have some
$10 for a
Yeah,
card?"
wait.
Same thing.
Andrew, it's like this, It's like this. The cuz pulls up to the house and they leave with more than they came with. What do you
What are you giving? What are you giving out?
We didn't give out anything. They took it. They took it.
I was talking to Philip about this. If we go to Tonga or he goes to Samoa, you go and this is one thing that your
You don't
family
come
will always
back.
tell you:
Pack light.
Yeah.
Pack light.
pack clothes that you don't that you wouldn't want to wear out.
Yeah.
Because when you go there, you're not gonna come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Pack your
That's
clothes
it.
that you're willing to give away, bro.
Yo.
That's crazy. That's what my parents say. They say pack heaps. Because when you go
Right.
over there with all your things, they're up.
Saddest feelings, saddest feelings. I literally packed a bag just to give away clothes to my cousins, bro. And I had this one singlet, and it was a high school basketball jersey that I always wore. And like, I gave out all the clothes. I had like t-shirts left and probably like one pair of shorts. Bro, I get home, I'm looking for my bag, like, hey, where's my singlet?
He got you.
Bro, and then I go on Facebook, and the bro posts a photo with my singlet. And I was like, dude.
Thank you so. Thank you so.
LA Lakers.
I just gave this guy clothes, and he goes and steals my one singlet that I wore.
He's on the plane like, I'm up.
No, but it's also accepting that they are less fortunate. Eh?
Yeah,
we do
100%.
understand
We
that.
have-
We
Like,
do
I was like,
understand
oh
that.
man,
yeah.
you bastard! And then I was like,
Nah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But we're not rich here
But
too.
that's their mentality.
Yeah.
They're like, you can just buy another one.
I know what it is. Wait. It's you guys. For you guys, that's sending money to the islands, eh?
I mean,
with
that's jokes
us-
around
with-
and that happens.
Yeah, but
bro.
with
us,
us, it's boxes of stuff.
Oh,
the big
that's
ones.
true. Yes.
The containers.
I have
Containers.
seen that. That is very common. I've seen a lot of container companies
Yeah.
run by Tongans.
Yeah.
It's that. Every time we go to
Like we
Tonga,
said,
That's
That's how-
styrofoam,
that's how we get
styrofoam
drunk.
containers. Yeah. Wait, what did you say? I didn't even hear that. Run it back. Run it back.
Anyone looking to unload containers, come and hit me up. I got a job for you.
shout out to Young Guns.
Yeah, true though.
Yeah,
True. So that's common.
every time we go to Tonga, we have to make sure, what do they call it? A cooler. We have to get a cooler prepared.
Oh, yeah.
Always. True. Always. With not even just to Tonga, but to family in Australia.
Yeah.
And we take our best things from here. For example, Cadbury, Big Ben pies, the things they don't have in the country that we're going.
Like you
We
know
gotta.
how people come from Oz and you ask them for Coast cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To that extent, yeah. I get that.
It's like-
Yeah, we
it's
take
like
that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think it's real common to. I see it like on a weekly basis. You guys are sending
Yeah.
boxes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, Tongans.
I literally sent a box like
Yesterday.
Before I got here, bro.
A month ago. It was literally like full of like noodle boxes,
Yeah, noodle boxes.
corned beef, all this. And then I'm like looking, but what about our cupboard?
Your mom's like, welcome.
The fridge is like,
and a fly hits you on the head.
you open up the fridge and it's just one onion.
The old onion in the fridge.
Onion just
Shout out to the onion that nobody ate.
Half an onion. Half an onion.
Oh, gee, nah. Half an onion with a cup of oil.
And the empty tomato sauce. The mustard that's been there for years.
The hard oil that gets reused.
Bruh. Nah, do you know what makes it funny there?
That's the Samoa. Hey, Andrew, we haven't seen that.
Watch out, shit.
We don't say about oil, bro.
Nah, must be nice.
Nah, G. Nah.
And
Meant to be using the same oil.
We should have had girls on this panel. This is what was going to happen. This is what's going to happen.
I thought it was like you could eat it. Gee.
You went there.
I was like,
They're like breakfast crackers.
This is my favorite flavor.
Oh man.
Nah, but hey, see, work for you guys. See, we still try to make something with that half onion and oil, man.
That onions clean the barbecue, boys. What's going on? The onion.
It's just shocking how onion can last.
The shelf life on onions. Oh my god. You can save an onion for your great grandchildren and it'll still be fresh. I'll tell
You
you
chuck
that.
an onion outside, 5 more will grow. Like just on the ground.
They're like a virus. They're like a virus. Let's get rid of these onions, bro. There's too many onions. Too many onions, man.
Oh no.
It's a virus.
Why were you talking about my fridge situation right now? Like, why?
You guys got personal. You guys got personal too fast.
Shout out to my 2 empty fridges at home.
this is haunting, bro.
This is bro. Reality, bro. Oh man.
See, that's
So I wasn't alone on that fridge. Shit.
story
Fridge
of our
culture.
life.
Fridge culture.
Fridge culture, onion culture. Shout out to the onion for always coming through when we need
Facts.
them. Sin
When
when
you
we
need
were
them.
hungry. They were always there. Even when we were hungry, bro, they were always there. G.
Jamming it in.
Like
Jamming
in the
it.
little owl. Like, oh, what's in it? Onions.
Onions. Where's the meat? Where's the meat?
What's in the pea soup? Onions.
Onions.
Like, you know, like the flavors of
Universal.
you know, like a lot of them say that they love our food, bro. But our common flavors is onion and salt.
Yo.
Onion and salt.
And we're not sparing with a G. We chuck that on everything, bro.
Crazy. I didn't even eat onions, bro.
Like,
Like,
Don't
you know
even
how
think
yeah.
onions at all.
Like,
Bro,
like
salt
you know how what do you call it? Like black Americans mock white Americans with like their flavoring.
We do. We
like,
do.
like you know, like
We do.
like mayo.
They do. Yeah. Yeah. No,
But
like,
like, if you look at us, gee, salt.
you know what?
Plain,
Flavor. We went to the beach. And we were eating butter, we were eating a pig, bro. And then my cousin, like, we're all standing in the water, bro. He comes up with a plate of pig, like, and he's like, "You want to eat?" And then I grabbed it, and then I started eating, bro. And the bro just like grabbed one off, dips it in the water, G. Whoa! And then I was like, "What the heck?" And then I dipped it, bro, and it was
Yum.
nice, G.
Gee, I
So
like
you were
that.
about to
I
talk
like
smack,
that.
Bro,
and
that's
then you said it was
That's
yum.
like the seawater.
100%.
But kids still like.
Oh, yeah.
It's just salty.
Bro, I don't know about you, but not all water's yellow, bro.
Presbyterian. That's why. He's Presbyterian, guys. I blame the guy. Okay.
Nah.
Shout out
But
to
see,
the priest.
this is how beautiful our culture is, bro. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
bro,
I
come
mean,
on, man.
like shit, like we're like laughing about shit that's
We were
Best food
starving.
mayo.
laughing at the struggles.
Best food
you know?
mayo.
Yeah, we were starving, bro. Straight up, we were starving, and the onion was looking at us like, "Eat me," and we were like, "Jack, I'm not eating you, bro. I'm passing from this earth hungry, bro. I'm not gonna touch you."
You had to have an appetite as an islander, eh?
Yo.
You had to have an appetite. Bro, man, that was funny though, because for me personally, I struggled with that for a long time, bro. Like I had a mean appetite, but I never showed. And I was just like, oh, bro, I'm not that just conventionally looking island dude.
Shout out to your six pack, bro.
Shut up, G. It's not even about
You know, when you
that.
go to the
Shout out to your six pack,
you know,
bro.
when they go to the Sunday Gohai, bro, they tell you to eat,
Yeah.
finish the food. You know, bro, your plate's huge as, and they're telling you to
Oi.
eat all the food.
I'll tell you
But then
this,
you eat so much and you get fat, and then they're like,
Why did you eat too much?
Phil. I'll tell you this, and be honest with me. Growing up, and I feel like this is trauma eating. Eat your food before I beat you up.
Oh.
And be honest, did it teach you to always finish your plate even though you're full?
Yo.
Would you say there was like this trauma involved?
Damn. I don't know. I
feel for a lot of this.
Why are you asking Philip specifically? Specifically.
Yeah. Like, I don't think I ever got a hiding because I always ate.
Yeah.
I mean, I always finished my plate. So I don't think I was ever given that threat, but I know it happens.
It happened. It happened to me, bro. It happened to me. Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate?
Well, it happened to me. That's why I still do it.
What do you mean?
What?
You still like eat, like finish your plate even though you're full?
Yeah. Like I
That's
eat
my rebellion. When I'm full,
not
I stop eating.
Damn.
That's my rebellion against my trauma.
True.
I don't stand for this anymore. I'm lying. I finish my plate every time.
No, but it happens, bro.
It happens.
Bro, I mean, I believe it. I went through a couple experiences, but I wouldn't say it was trauma inducing.
Yeah.
But only because I just understood.
I understand the perspective.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I felt like that was because somebody asked me. Because I went every time I eat, I would always finish, regardless if I was full, if I was staying. I would push to finish my food, and somebody asked me, "Why are you forcing yourself to eat?" And it made me question myself, and I was like, "Why am I doing this?" And I had to go back and to my upbringing, and I go, every time I was in an eating situation, my parents always told me, "Finish your food, or I'll beat you up." And it's not to anybody to go, "Oh my God, he was abused as a kid." Listen, it wasn't anything. It was just life.
Yeah, I remember getting told like, "Finish your food."
Yeah, finish your food. Yeah. But gee, it wasn't necessarily I'll beat you up. For me, it was just like, you're just not gonna eat. Like, and I was like, I want to eat. Yeah, but mind you, though, my perspective was different because, like I said, I grew up getting told heavily, "Bro, you're skinny. Does your mum feed you?" And that was disrespectful to me. But that's why it's funny, because there was never a good medium. It was either, "Oh, you're fat," or "You're too skinny," but you never got the in between.
Bro, I lived that, G.
Yeah.
Because if you look through my high school years, bro, I was a stick, G. And it was because I was always like, "Oh, you're so fat," because I was a fat kid. And then I lost all the weight. Bro, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, are you sick?"
Skinny. Yeah, exactly.
And then I felt offended
Yeah.
because like when I was fat, I was being told like, "Bro, you eat too much," and then I was like, "Oh." I felt
Damn.
things,
Low
but then I went
self-esteem.
the opposite side,
Yeah.
and I still got the same.
Are you sick? Are you on
sick?
something?
Are you alright?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm like,
what's wrong? Eat, and then I ate too much.
But no, but what makes it funny though? What makes it funny is because I think something we're not really acknowledging is, at the end of the day, food, breaking bread, that's a love language to us. Remember, we love food. Like,
Let's go.
gee, even in,
together,
bro,
bro.
yeah, even in the when you guys did the interview at the markets, it's like everyone said food because it's a love language to us.
That's
We're
why
just
everyone
like,
was there.
yeah,
Because it does.
yeah.
It brings us
Facts.
together, bro.
Yeah,
You know,
it does.
You think of the most common gathering of the islanders.
Kongai.
It's kongai.
Yeah, kongai.
You know, the Sunday feast.
Shout out to the kongai, bro.
Gee, just shout out
That's
to
where, that's where
food.
all
Shout out to
the
food, bro.
chatter goes down.
Yeah, gee, backstabbing aunties and all.
What
Mm.
do
I remember like you
that,
couldn't sit on the table, bro, because like they were talking crap up
You
there.
gotta go to the little kids.
Get out. Get out the
This is
room, close the
adult
door.
speaking. This is adult speaking.
What's that thing that Tongans have at the churches and some massive ass feast? or
Kaipola.
something? Yo.
Kaipola. It's almost like a kongai, but on steroids.
It's one of those ones that, oh, I haven't seen you at church for like a whole year, but you're here.
You're here. Here. You're like,
And he's the first to load up the car with the plates.
I haven't seen you at church for ages. Oh, true. True, right? But here's the thing, the thing about kaipolas, this is how they do kaipolas. When you come to a Tongan kaipola, there isn't any space to eat your food because all the space is covered with food.
Yeah.
So when you eat whatever's in front of you because there's so much food on the plate and it's stacked on each other.
Yo.
And there's pig and it's crazy. It's a feast. You know those Viking feasts you see on Viking where they all like have the massive drum? It's that to a T, dogs. Like it's
Damn.
crazy.
It's real bad. And
Plus siren gem.
You racist
That's the backing
bastard.
track, eh? Just
You
the backing ambient
racist
noise.
bastard.
like they always have the saying, "Kai ke paho ke te," which means eat to your stomach pops.
Oh.
Nah, is that it? Kai ki mate or something?
Stop.
Oh. It's either that Or they say
Kai get faho ahu.
or they say
I made that up.
kai get tage he whare mahaki, meaning eat so we can call the hospital.
There's
Man.
heaps.
So because you eat so much that your stomach's gonna explode.
Yeah.
There's so many sayings. It's crazy.
And
There's so
what's
many.
worse that you eat overboard like that, and they still go and pack them.
They start packing. Listen,
You feed your car before you feed your stomach.
yeah, man.
Yo.
I want to eat. You feed your stomach harder, then you go and like. And
It's
then you go
the
start feeding your
packing
car.
before the prayer that gets me every
Oh,
time.
gee.
Right.
Yeah. But hey, it is what it is.
Culture.
It
That's our culture. That's our culture.
Yeah. You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
And we're earlier how we were talking about Tonga. The thing that I always remember about going Tonga is leaving everything. You have to leave everything. Everything. What you came with is gone. If you came with a PlayStation, they got a PlayStation. You gave them a PlayStation. And I'll tell you a story. Shout out to my guy. His name's Simone. He came from Tonga. And we were younger. And this is when the PlayStation, the first PlayStation.
Inflation.
The first PlayStation came out, and I was stunting on these guys. Well, everybody was at my house every day trying to jump on my new PlayStation. Tekken 3. Shout out to Tekken 3.
Damn.
My guy from Tonga, he came over. And we're playing every day, and like, man, we're having a blast. He's playing the game, and he had like 2 weeks to stay in New Zealand. And then he was leaving the next day, man. And it was me, my cousins, and him. And we're all playing that day. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, man, it's the same thing as routine as a kid. I can't wait to wake up tomorrow morning to play games. Remember that feeling? Yeah. And it was always that. And I wake up in the morning. You know, you have to rub your face. Don't even brush the teeth. We straight to the TV, dogs. Marching to the TV. Here's me waking up the cousins. Get up, game time. All of them. Game time. Yo, sweet. Boom. Got the gang. We on. Marching. And I'm like, where's Monet? Who gives a damn where Monet is? I'm going to play game. I get to the game. And I'm like, I turn the thing on. And you know how you hear that first PlayStation sound again? And I go and I see the TV. Remember that time the AV was blue. The screen was blue. And I look at the blue screen. And I go to push the button. I go to push the button. Bang. I hit the disc. I'm like, wait a minute. It's not. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me try it again. Bang. I'm hitting the disc. I look. Where's the game?
PS1. Wow.
This game
PS1, so no more fun.
I'm like pressing the disc and I'm looking at the boys because it's still early mornings. The sun is still trying to make its way up. So I'm still trying to look for the game. And we haven't turned the lights on. We're always playing with the blanket over our head and all like this. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't have the controller. I didn't have the game. And I'm like, where's my game? And I'm looking around and there was a common denominator there. I go, 2 things are missing from here. My game and money. My game and money. I asked my mom, where's my game? And I was like, I hope it doesn't come out of her mouth. She goes, so money is gone.
Wow.
And he took your game.
Unlucky, mate.
And
Unlucky.
guess what my cousin said? I looked at my cousins and was like, so we'll go play outside. And they go, I'm going back to my house. I'm like, you guys are sweet.
Why did you make
Sweet.
Tonga sound like the Sacred Heart Foundation? Like,
Red Cross. Bro, I feel like all of us went through that.
always.
But here's the
That's it.
thing, man. Shout out, love to everybody. Shout out
I
to
hope you
Money.
played that PlayStation Money.
Man.
Hope
Better
those
make the
games
most of
worked
it.
on your TV.
with the blue screen, the AV blue screen.
Probably got there like,
How do you plug this in?
it's broken.
Bruh.
Oh,
Yeah, because if you go to Samoa, bro, you go to Samoa, G, the bros are cutting down the taro trees and Ralph Lauren shirts.
Let's
They're going across, bro.
Yeah.
Like, bros are wearing like Nike gears. They're all like dirtied up, you know. Like, those brands mean nothing over there.
Yeah,
So
man.
Are you guys the same as Tonga? Go to Tonga and then the men working as construction and wearing Timberlands.
Let's go. Stomp the yard.
but see, I love that we're so family oriented because a lot of our stories come from that family setting.
Always.
Because I don't think there's other cultures that are as close knit as we are.
Nah, gee, like put it this way, bro. Have you ever talked to any other cultural, like, or people of cultural ethnicities different to ours, and like we talk about like being at home, and it's like, oh, you don't move out, like, and you're like, no, it's the norm for you to stay in your house. Like, it's actually, bro, you get in trouble if you try to move out. Like,
because we have that thing where we take care of our parents till they pass.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know? And I guess that's like the Western world. That doesn't go with the Western world. Eh? Like if you live with your parents past 20, past 25, past 30, they're like, wait, what is this guy doing with his life?
Yo, I can't believe we're still living with your parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like shameful.
Yeah.
You know,
amongst the Western
whereas
world.
us, like, we praise that person that stayed looking
Yes.
after the mom, you
Yeah.
know, looking after the oldest.
Yeah.
Because it's like for us, it's like a cycle. Eh?
Yeah.
The parents look after us when we're kids, and then we look after them when they're old. You know,
That was what happened in the islands. It was like that.
yeah.
Like
they bring us in, we take them out.
Yeah, so you take them out.
Yo, we like,
You still-
bye bye.
Love you. Leave you. Love you and
But
leave
you
you.
gotta, those are that's special, bro. It's
Yeah.
real sacred, you know.
It is.
In the islands, you did what you did your job for that age. So if you were strong and fit, you did all the jobs. When you were old and thinking you needed to be looked after, you were looked after. When you were a kid, you were looked after. So at every age, you did what that age job required at that time. But over here, it's different. It's like it ain't that.
Nah, well, like one last question, I guess, that I would love to pose, thinking of that as well. Where do you guys see the future of the Pacifica people, like within this Western society, like, and if they were born in this society, not from Sao or from Tonga or from any other Pacifica nation, where do you see the future? Like for our youngins here, maybe in New Zealand, like they said, I don't even know. I think Auckland is one of the biggest Pacifica cities in the world.
Yeah, it
so
is.
yeah, where do you think, having that on our backs, like, where do you see the future of our youngins in that going? Yeah. And expressing the culture, because like you said, it has to be fluid. It has to change. We have to be more contemporary than anything. Yeah. Sorry, is that a stump?
I think- no, I think,
Because I'll be honest with you, bro. We're getting westernized
As
quick, fast.
But I feel like, I mean, being raised in Auckland City, I feel like we're heading in the right direction. I don't think we've been in a time where you see so much of our poly people on screen.
definitely,
You know, like, bro, like
representation.
I think all I want to see for our poly people is to stand out. You know, stand up, speak up, and continue to be you. At the same time, representing our culture in a respectful manner, but you know, always, you know, continue to put us on the map because we are coming up. And that's all I see for us. Just continue to head in that direction because I think I just saw Taika Waititi say like a speech,
Indigenous people.
and he was like, "We're taking your jobs. You know, like, we're coming for your job." And that's all I see. I just want our people to see themselves as
In those
leaders
roles,
and corporate level jobs. You know, like I want our people to fight and aim for that. That's all I want.
And shout out to Taika Waititi
Yeah,
because
man.
every time I
OG.
see him being interviewed, man,
Yeah,
he's
bro.
still New Zealander, bro.
100%.
I look at him like, let's go. That's my guy.
Yeah, so
That's my guy.
we want our people to reach their goals and their dreams because you were saying at the start, like, you know, a man can dream,
Yeah, man.
and I want our poly people to dream, reach those goals, and continue to stay the same, continue to be Samoan, continue to be
Yeah.
Tongan,
Yeah.
in those
places, because you know money changes people, bro.
Yeah.
Because
Like-
when you get a title, it's like, wait, am I Tongan? Am I still Tongan?
Oh, true.
You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's another thing.
100%.
Whole nother thing.
Yeah, well, what do you see for our people? I mean, what would you want to see?
Was it what do you want to see, or like where do you reckon it's heading?
Oh yeah, both. Like,
Okay.
what would you
Yeah.
like to see? Yeah.
To be honest, the future of the Pacific, bro, I'm looking at it now like it's like I can already see it, like everything that was done culturally and traditionally in the Tongan culture or Samoan culture, I feel like it's gonna be more modernized.
True.
So it's not gonna be the same as if you were to see say if I grow up and like I will see like Pacific teenagers and that I want to look at them like, bro, back in my time, like there was nothing like that.
Yeah.
Like the culture, like tradition was like, you know, if your sister has her friends over, you're not gonna be in the house.
Yeah, true.
You're either gonna be outside sitting and having a smoke, or you're gonna be in your room. That's it. Well, for me, I feel like, you know, now everything's getting more modernized. I feel like it's gonna be different. Like,
What do you want to see? What do you want to see?
Yeah.
man?
what do you wanna see?
I don't mind. I don't mind the like being more modernized, and because there is some things in the tradition and culture that needs to be modernized. But I don't mind that. But I feel like it's just don't go overboard with it. Like don't forget where you came from. Don't forget your culture, don't forget your
that's a good one.
traditions. You know?
I feel like evolution is important. Always of any culture, and I feel like people have that mentality of I'm Tongan, so I got to stay in this culture, and I'm not allowed to learn from any other culture. Especially those people that are like, I'm against Palangis, and say like anti-Palangi, anti-white. But I'm like, let me tell you the truth, man. There's a lot to be learned there as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be learned there in the Western society as well. Don't just be like, you know, you can have your agenda, but don't be biased. Don't be biased, because there is pros in every culture. And I feel like, and I've had arguments with my mom, my sisters over this, where they go, but you're Tongan, you're a traditional Tongan guy. And I go, I'm traditional Tongan, but I'm not blind. You know what I mean? I'm not going to blindly follow something that is wrong, but it's culture, so I have to do it. It's wrong is wrong.
I have the same arguments of my mum.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are recent, bro. Real recent.
Now, it's funny you guys say that, because like I said, throughout this whole podcast, I'm not necessarily the most Samoan or like Pacifica understanding.
But see, like,
very,
that thought process is what I want to change too. How you're saying, like, you've said it twice now. Bro. Like, I don't feel like I'm the most
Samoan. Yeah,
but
I'm still Samoan.
And who you are is Samoan. That, you know, we've like put this like picture or image on what a Samoan should look like. But that's not what it is.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
And I want to ask you something, Philip, and this is something that I wanted to talk about on the podcast. The bitter, if you're okay.
And the malu as well? Oh.
And in what sense are you trying to say?
Because here's what we specifically talked about in the car. We talked about because we saw about the bitter and people having. I'm not gonna have any say because I'm Tongan. So first of all, I just find it like buzzy. The views on it, and just being a bystander, and you're talking about who's allowed and who's not allowed to have a bitter. Whether being Samoan, if you speak the Samoan language, or even not even being Samoan, like that whole thing, and you were telling me there's a whole like argument and
it's
a whole
massive,
thing, and people are split.
Yeah,
that's complicated.
Yeah, it's created a division, bro. Like, I mean, my personal perspective on it, I respect anyone who can go through that journey.
You told me that.
I respect anyone that can go through that journey. All I ask is that you wear it with love and respect, and make the effort. Make the effort to learn other culture. If you want to, take part in that and wear it, wear it with pride. But to those who are, using, who go into it with a mindset that they're like, I just want to get it because it's cool. Those are the people I'm speaking to. Like, but I guess it depends on the situation. Because I mean, if you're talking about like Palangis wearing it, I mean, like I said, I'll respect them no matter what. But yeah, I think
even Palangis, like you'll be okay if a Palangi.
I would.
Let's go.
Because if they can, honest to God, like. I know there are so many Samoans out there because they have the saying is, tat your mouth before you tat your legs, which is like learn the language before you can wear it. But I think like how we're talking about evolution, you know, the evolution of our culture. I think we're at a time because we're always running on that saying, but there's also the status of who actually can wear it, and the truth is, you had to be a chief's son or daughter.
Back in the day.
And you know, not everyone's a chief's son or daughter,
Yeah.
but they were wearing it.
Yeah.
But they're not talking about that.
Yeah.
But they're always talking about you as long as you can speak the language.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you're taking the approach of like, if you're gonna do it by the law, do it
What
to
the
the
laws,
T.
yeah, all
Do
of
it to
them,
the
yeah,
T.
not just one.
Don't
But
just
they focus on just the language.
Yeah, and I think it's because there was a lot of arguments in that, because like you said before, like you have to be a chief's daughter, but it's easier to get a title. Like it got to the point where like they wouldn't let certain people who didn't live in Sa get their title because people were just flying over just to get their titles. Yeah, but like in saying that, yeah, it's complex, and like it's something I wanted to add with you, because a lot of the things we've been talking about, I feel like the theming has kind of been around time as well, the time in which we're living, the time in which we're doing all these things, and the cultural significance over time.
Yeah.
And I think we have to all like at least understand that we alone, like all of us, were all relics of our time, just this time. Like, because I was talking about it to this guy earlier today, when I was like, I was watching heaps of comedians from way back when, Richard Pryor, some of Eddie Murphy's old stuff. And bro, some of the jokes they were doing, I was like, bro, if you were saying that now, you get cancelled, bro. Like, this is misogynistic, this is homophobic, this is. But in saying that, it's like really just understanding, like, nah, you are from your time, because that's the influences and the society that you lived in. But things will change, and culture always changes. Like I talked about before, like we were people who built pyramids, and now we have a real religious backbone of our culture. Our different cultural norms will always change. So I think it's also just going, for me, like understand where the youth is going, and be proud that the youth is going somewhere. Like that will still exist in that future, that there'll be Samoans, Pacifica, like a representation of us still existing, because we're a niche in the world, bro. We are a niche, and that's our superpower. Come on, man.
Because if we run it by that standard that Samoan society is trying to hold it to when it comes to the pita, then I feel like you wouldn't see the pita around us much. You know, especially in the younger generation. But I love going out and seeing like
better, because you know how they call it, like sometimes that the saying cultural appropriation, and how that word's been thrown around everywhere in America. But but here's the thing, there's the other saying where it's cultural appreciation. And I see where you're coming from.
That's why I say if you are willing to take upon yourself that journey, then learn. You know, to make the effort to learn of the culture. You know,
don't be ignorant.
And what's your view on guys that get the better and don't finish it? Tell the truth, Phil.
You didn't get it. You didn't get it.
like I said, mad respect to anybody that can go and finish it. At least you got the little.
You brought that pain,
You know, you're the man, G.
That's like, if yours got affected, yo, G, that's
At least he went and then he found out, like, nah, this is not for me.
You gotta be on the wrong road to know where the right road is, okay?
Wait, so
That is
would you say that was modernized?
What?
More modernized?
What?
Wait, what's
Because didn't you say like back in the days it was only just the chief's son?
definitely.
But would you say it was more modernized? Because I feel like
What's more modernized?
because I feel like I seen it like on like I seen it on like on Instagram stories. People like congratulating like someone getting it, and they don't say anything about learning about the culture. They just said congrats on going on this painful journey, and that's it.
So what's modernized?
So like, you know how you say it was only for like the chief's son. But now it's more of people just getting it for journey, the journey of the pain, but not not looking
that's
at
why
it
we're
as the,
just saying, like it's evolved, like and it has to, and I think it's beautiful that it's changing. I mean, a lot of people won't agree,
facts.
but this is my perspective on it. Like, watch this, bro. I'll just tell you my own experience. I would die to get that tat, but honest to God, I don't want to wear it because I'm ashamed that my family will look at me and say, why is he wearing it when he doesn't do the family's chores? You know, he doesn't serve the family. He doesn't pay for our family's bills in Samoa, or You know, he doesn't serve the family the
Yeah.
way they want me
Yeah.
to. And it's sad because, bro, I would love to wear it. I'd
Yeah.
love to walk around and
Just for the
anyway,
record.
that's just me.
Just
I
for
get
the
you.
record,
No, I get
I
you.
ride fulfill.
But I want that to change.
Yeah.
I want to be able to wear it with pride because I know I'm Samoan.
Let's go.
And I love my culture.
Yeah.
Just
So-
for the record, I ride fulfill, and whatever decision you make, Doggo, I'm there.
Yo,
dogs.
should I get it next week?
I'll watch you,
damn.
dogs. I'll ride fulfill.
That's
And,
good.
and
We'll get it
whatever,
next week.
whatever Phil stances on the better, that's my stance, Doggo. Whatever
Yo.
stance, I ride fulfill, man. Let's go.
Bro, like, yeah. Anyone that's got it, bro, got mad love for you.
Bro.
Anyone.
Feelings
Palangi,
mutual, bro.
Samoan, whatever.
Yeah.
Just wear it with respect. You
See,
know,
I like
learn
that,
the
bro.
culture.
Wear it with respect, and like what you said earlier, G, bro, we wouldn't have seen it if no one
Yeah.
adopted that. Because
Yeah,
that's a big
because, I
thing
mean,
too. Like,
Another thing is like, would these would this youth, would this generation have made the effort to learn of it if they didn't get it? Because a lot of the times this is what starts the journey. Like I've seen a lot of people that get it before they even learn the language, but now that they're wearing it, they're learning the language.
Yeah.
So would have they would have
Get it together, Phil.
that's why I'm Samoan.
Speaking about
No, like they wouldn't have done it. They
Yeah.
wouldn't have went to make those efforts to learn the language if they didn't get the bit. So that's why I say like
a good
it's
starting to the
It's
journey,
a good,
yeah.
good thing.
Nah, yeah,
I
that's
dig it,
very
bro.
good.
That's deep.
I dig it. Toes, brother.
Yeah, but I think, bro,
Towels in the
I think what we've covered, bro.
Yeah.
We love our culture.
Facts.
There are a lot of things we'd love to see in the future,
Devs.
and I think I think we're heading in the right direction. It's evolving and it's evolving fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
So either you're gonna come with it, or you're gonna
you're
stay
gonna
behind.
be-
So
Yeah.
don't be no gatekeeper now.
Growth.
Don't be no gatekeeper.
Yeah, yeah.
Growth
Let
is
the youth have
beautiful.
their chance.
Yeah,
Yo.
man. Growth is beautiful. Always. In any facet of life, growth is a beautiful thing.
yeah. But
Yeah.
to those of you who are watching, like, comment down your thoughts, your perspectives,
100%.
and if you really did listen, I hope you guys learned something from
Yeah,
it.
man.
100%.
I think we shared some beautiful points on how
100%.
our culture is, how our culture can be, what it's like to be a part of our culture,
Yeah.
and
And even if you don't agree, if you had a great time, yeah, then we did something.
Tune in next week.
Then we
That's
did
like,
something.
be back, and we'll be back.
and it's like, yep. And so now we're gonna finish for local. No, culture,
Let's go.
culture.
Shout out, man.
Yeah, hey, you started us off, bro. Yeah, and you're gonna finish us off.
All right. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for today about culture. But you know what it is. Shout out to LFG,
LFG
in the
building.
building,
And
shout out
Creation
to
Pit.
our special
Thank you.
guest.
Thank you.
And mad love,
Mad
and
love,
we'll
so-
see you guys later.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's get it.